Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Well, had no reason to trust me, and I didn't do much to change that.
True. You are not the most endearing of men. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
โอ้แต่มันย้อนไปสักไกลเลย
Expected she'd want to oversee
เมื่
this
อคืน
personally.
ลูกผมร้องแบบ
The master's eye fattens the
ว่าอะไร
cock.
ไม่ค่อย
You're beginning to understand that, I see.
นอน
This
น้อย
prisoner of yours,
พ่อ
bring
ผม
him
นอน
to
น้อย
me.
เลย
We must ask him some
โอ้
questions.
จัด
Captain,
Who sent
ขอ
you?
ข้ามๆหน่อยก็แล้วกัน
His name.
เพราะไอ้นี้เราเล่นไปแล้ว
You're none.
wait.
Sure can. Fresh out.
In that case, he's all yours.
Captain. Live.
What? No!
Barrel.
I don't...
Captain.
I don't... He...
Oughta...
Go on. The
Take him away. Cap,
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report...
I shan't return to the palace.
อ๋อเราเจอตรงนี้ใช่ปะแล้วทำไมมึงไม่เซฟไว้กูวะอินเล่
He's late.
Relax. He'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Sintrian appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally
Still don't know this Sintrian's behind the...
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine.
Need to find the Sintrian, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Sintrian does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? Now, the port warehouse where the wine was delivered, we identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Sintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. but she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer. I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, fairy.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
The Mandragora? What's that?
A club, an affiliation of local artists. Painters, sculptors, troubadours and dancers.
Never heard of it.
They exude mystique, consciously, I think. All arrive in elaborate masks, then drink and
Gotta nab the Cintrian. Seems we have to go to...
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place, a residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville in...
กูต้องเป็นชุดอีกแล้วเนี่ย
Double the patrols, just in case. Good luck. I hope you get the bastard.
โอเคเลือก43เราไปทำเควสลองก่อนตอนเที่ยงอะ
I'm here.
Let us go. We should arrive in time to have the best light of the day. The chiaroscuro we shall capture. Just glorious.
Let's go. The things I do for art.
We had best ride there. We'll arrive faster and less fatigued.
Fruitful hunt to you, Witcher.
A work of mine, Turtle Dove o'er the Heath, hangs in the ducal palace.
So does a cockatrice I cut down once. It's stuffed, maybe even with heather.
I once had a cockatrice feather brush. Best thing for laying down tempera. I no longer have it, sadly. My blasted cat swiped it.
Why would a cat want a brush?
To paint with, of course. And it was no common brush. Fantastic, as I said, and fantastically expensive.
Hang on. Got a cat that paints?
Yeah, if you care to call it that. He merely copies the works of his betters, and poorly at that.
Your cat?
Yes, Pierre Auguste Moustachois. It's no surprise you've not heard of him. He's a second-rate hack and a thief. We'll continue on foot.
We will continue on foot.
Ladies, gentlemen, my lieges, forgive me for being forward, but have you perchance seen a set of paints and brushes nearby? Eugenie, I believe this peasant wants something from us. My paints, my brushes, I had prepared them. They were here.
ไม่มีอะไร
Not
ที่
seen
มา
any
ง่ายๆเลย
gentleman's tools, my good man. Of that I assure you.
There a problem?
Yes, an immense one. I cannot possibly paint without my...
Wouldn't happen to and, nothing you could...
My word. Would...
Damn it.
Yes, right there.
Might have toppled downhill.
I think it is life that imitates art, and not vice versa.
Right you are, Fingal. Take Baron de Cordel for one.
Oh yes, that nose. He actually had a mage enlarge it after he saw that the Red Courage play. And now he's begun courting his cousin.
Spilled paint. Reeks to high heavens of turpentine. Footprints. Smudged.
นั่นไงเขาทำอย่างนี้
Hackers. Look like they made off with the paints. Why? Don't look ruined. Painter should still be able to use them. Found your things.
Splendid. Where were they? And... is this all you found? I left so much more.
Should have kept it all with you, not left it lying around. Followed some paint tracks to a necker lair. Seems the beast's made off with your supplies. Used it to paint a fresco on one of the cave walls. Looked something like a...
Impossible. They splashed paint on the wall in a rage. Shall we? While waiting, I spied a soup.
Okay, my
We have had fantastic luck with the weather. The light is perfect, absolutely perfect.
Painting this masterpiece gonna take long?
A mere 6 hours. The sun won't allow us to work any longer than that. Oh, but the time will fly by. We'll chat, swap tales.
Better yet, let me down a potion. Time will definitely fly by in a state of lethargy. No need to swap tails.
No, no, no. Your expression, your posture, they must be just so. You must look alive with fire in your gaze. Lethargy is out of the question.
Come on, give it some thought. You could title the painting, A Witcher Lying Senselessly on the Heath.
You jest. A jesting witcher.
Take a rest now. This the place?
Yes. Just look at the view. Breathtaking. The perfect background for our masterpiece.
Pretty, I guess.
Now, you must carefully consider in what pose you wish to be immortalized.
All right. Considering.
มันสวยจริงๆนะ
All is ready. We may begin. Have you decided on the pose you'd like to adopt?
ไอ้เหี้ยมันมี แล้วคือกูก็ไม่รู้อีกว่าอีแต่ละท่ามันจองเป็นยังไงวะ ท่าบนหลังมาท่าเหี้ยเลยวะไอ้สัสเอนกายแม่ง
Think I'll lie down. At least that way I can nap while you work.
The hero at rest, lying on his side, propped up on an elbow, staring into the distance, relishing a victory. I can paint in a griff. Though, naturally, a nap. May I begin? Or...
อีเหี้ยอุบัติสัตว์
Let me try something else. Maybe I could just...
Ah! Splint! The bold warrior, ready to run at the... Well, that... Shall I begin?
โอ้เชี่ยท่านี้เท่
Let me try...
เพื่อนถอนหายใจแล้ว
How about I be on horseback? I mean...
Oh, yes. A horse. Exceptional idea. I shall paint in the carcass of a... I want to see those hocks. May I begin? Or...
เหี้ย
Let me try...
เวลาบุรุษนี่แหละ
Maybe I...
Ah! The bow... Ready? Shall I begin?
Go ahead.
Now, be so kind as to adopt that look you gave me when I first asked you to work with me. That intense scowl of an angry wild ram about to butt heads. Yes, excellent. Now, hold that. Do not budge.
This gonna take much longer?
Not much at all. We'll run out of daylight soon. Please, keep your head still, in the same position.
Fine, I'll try. I'll also try to remember to never trust a painter again.
Griffin!
Yeah, I know. You'll paint one in later.
Gods! A griffin!
Run and hide.
Dearest
อยู่ได้แค่แป๊บเดียวจริงอย่าปูกิฟฟินมาเลยเดี๋ยวนี้
Safe?
Yeah, come on out. And no wonder no one ever came here. It was a griffin's hunting ground.
Oh, that thing scared me to death.
Not quite to death. You are alive. Not least because you chose a witcher to sit for you. How's the painting? It survived too?
It did. But I cannot show it to you now. You can see it tomorrow, after midday, where we met. I shall display it. Oof, monstrous beast. Shall we?
Yeah, let's add it. Carcass can serve as your prop.
Splendid. Interesting color palette. And the textures and the
ไอสัต
proportions.
ว์ดีงามพระรามหนึ่งไปถึงพระรามเก้า
But I shall paint it in later, in my atelier. Ah, very well. I almost forgot. And I thank you for saving.
เดี๋ยวขอไปไอ้ตรงนี้ก่อน แล้วอ๋อเวทแน่เลยกูว่าแต่มันหมุดไม่ตรง
Let's dance.อ๋อลังสัตว์ประหลาดโห Harpies got their nest here.
บันทึกของซามูเอลพ่อกำลังไล่ตื้อข้าเพื่อให้ทำบางอย่างที่น่าเบื่อด้วยการจู้จี้ทั้งหมดของเขาข้าจะไม่ยุติหนทางอันฉลาดอย่างน้อยมัมซี่ก็สนับสนุนข้าและให้ข้ายืมกระจกของเธอพร้อมกับอีก2 อย่างที่ข้าซื้อด้วยเงินเก็บสะสมของข้าเองข้าก็จะได้ทดสอบอุปกรณ์ที่ข้าคิดค้นย่อมจะใช้งานได้แน่นอนแต่ก่อนอื่นข้าจะสรุปจุดเริ่มต้นของเรื่องราวของข้าเพื่อเป็นประโยชน์ของใครบางคนที่บังเอิญไปเจอมันเข้าเพียงเท่านั้นในขณะนี้สุดที่รักของข้าอาลีอัลซัสอาศัยอยู่กับครอบครัวของเธอในคฤหาสน์ที่ซุกซ่อนอยู่ในหุบเขาลึกในระหว่างเดือนกันยายนและมีนาดวงอาทิตย์ถูกซ่อนไว้อย่างต่อเนื่องอยู่เบื้องหลังเนินเขาที่อยู่ติดกันผู้พักอาศัยทั้งหมดของนิคมนี้จะต้องอาศัยอยู่ในพลบค่ำและความมืดมิดอย่างต่อเนื่องเป็นเวลายาวนานหลายเดือนแต่ แต่ในไม่ช้านี้การทรมานทั้งหมดนี้จะเป็นเพียงความทรงจำอันมืดมิดเท่านั้นบนยอดเขาแห่งหนึ่งที่อยู่ใกล้เคียงข้าจะติดตั้งระบบเครื่องสะท้อนแสงเพื่อจะสะท้อนแสงของดวงอาทิตย์ส่องมายังคฤหาสน์ของเธอแค่นั้นล่ะมันก็คุ้มค่าที่จะได้ใช้เวลาตลอดทั้งคืนที่สถาบันศึกษาสมุทร Imperial Academy ในระหว่างการศึกษาของข้าทำให้ทักษะการคำนวณและการเล่นแร่แปรธาตุของข้านั้นสมบูรณ์ไปได้ด้วยข้าอยากจะทดสอบการค้นพบของข้าในวันนี้แต่พ่อข้าตะโกนบอกว่าสิ่งประดิษฐ์ของข้าจะดึงดูดแค่นกกางเขนไม่กี่ตัวที่อาศัยอยู่ที่ทั่วบ้านเราหรือที่แย่ไปกว่านั้นก็จะนำฝูงฮาร์ปี้กลุ่มใหญ่มาแต่เขามักจะมีปัญหากับทุกอย่างเสมอข้าจะรอจนกว่าเขาจะออกจากเมืองแล้วรีบติดตั้งเครื่องกระจกสะท้อนแสงของข้าในพริบตาแล้วมันก็แตกถือว่าเป็นชายที่ยอดเยี่ยมมันเรียกว่ากระจกสะท้อนแสง โอ้เพราะความเบ้อของมึงไงแล้วเนี่ยกระจกสะท้อนแสงอาทิตย์ปึ๊บโอเคเราไปตรงโน้นกันดีกว่าเราไปทำเควสหลักกันเถอะนะครับ
In fact, I wonder
รอภาพบ้านของท่าน1 วันด้วยอ่ะรอก็ได้ไหนก็ไหนกดปิดรอภาพบ้านของท่าน1 วันมันผ่านไปวันหนึ่งอ่ะโอเคยังกูแถมให้อีกก็ได้อ่ะโอ้มันมัดกล้ามนั้นโอ้พระเจ้าโอ้โหน้องสาวจ๊ะฝนตกอยู่พี่ไอสัตว์เหี้ยมากไหนกิฟฟินไว้เหี้ย
Greetings.
Geralt, there you are. So, our painting. Are you pleased? Is it to your liking? Do tell.
Not exactly what I imagined. I believe I'd posed with all my clothes on. Clearly remember that, in fact. Some other details are off, too.
Invalid as a criticism. I depicted you in a more flattering step.
Can see that. Anyway, some advice for the future.
You don't like it. Perhaps you'd care to buy the painting. Given our rapport, I shall take a loss. For you, I'll pout.
Why not? It'll make an interesting memento. No.
Indeed. Few have the
All right.
คือกูต้องเอาแล้วปะ
I'm my own master with a bottle. Disaster like a frontal of
เอาล่ะฮะเราก็ต้องไปซื้อเสื้อที่น่ารักเอ้ยนี่มันธนาคารใช่ปะ
Need to come back during the day.
อันนี้กูอยู่ตอนกลางคืนนะเนี่ยเปิด
Well,
just.
I'm
ไหนดูชุดหน่อยสิเลกินกูถามก่อนว่ากูต้องซื้อไหมคือถ้ากูมีอยู่แล้วกูก็จะได้ไม่ซื้อโอเคกูไม่มีปึ๊บปึ๊บกางเกงมีอัปเปล่ากางเกงก็ไม่มีหน้ากากของกูหน้ากากเด้เด้เด้กูไม่มีอันนี้นี่ไม่มีหน้ากากนก
Thanks.
ever your servant, sir.
นั่นแหละถึงเวลาที่เราจะต้องเปลี่ยนเสื้อหล่อของเรานะครับโบเชี่ยโคตรเท่ก่อแขนดูกระจอกไปหน่อยใส่อันนี้นะเดี๋ยวกูไม่ต้องใส่เราก็แค่ไม่ใส่ก็จบปะออกปิดได้ข้าคือพ่อหนุ่มชุดทองแต่ว่าเราขอไปเก็บตังค์จากตรงนี้ก่อนก็เลิกกันนะอ๋ออยู่ไหนแล้วอ๋อ
Greetings, my most heartfelt gratitude. Go in peace,
ไม่
Ferdinand.
เป็นไรครับโอเคทีนี้เราก็จะต้องไปที่เควสจริงๆนะมันดูมีชีวิตชีวากว่า Assassin's Creed อีกกูรู้แล้วกูชื่อวิเชอร์
They say a great
กระโดดข้ามหัวนี่เป็นไง
Duchessa does not fear him as well.
กระโดดข้ามหัว
Hark, Beauclerc!
Late. Why does that not surprise me?
Well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. Not all bad. Nothing like about. Just one other detail.
A mask?
All who attend the Mandragora soiree wear them. If you have one on, no one asks who you are.
Any idea what?
Likely because they imagine the truth is far simpler. This way.
Let's go. Soiree started.
Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. As soon as we find her, we find him.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
ลืมโกนหนวดอะ
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone, would surely be a diamond. Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. We would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusion.
Visual illusions. Interesting.
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are...
We were really hoping.
You are admirers, I surmise.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this...
I don't know where
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize...
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
โอเคมีส่วนร่วมก่อนเลย
Go on, Geralt, be bold. Show us the artist in you. The paintballs, cast them at the canvas.
Some paintballs. Discover your artistic good folk. Yet another soul longing to express its creative side.
Well, you and modern art?
Yellow. Why every yellow?
It's obvious. It represents transgression in its purest form.
That green, lush and verdant as a field of vines. To vines and to wines! Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different array. I got it! It's the Sorito!
It's not a landscape, you pleb. It's a manifestation of the man's soul.
Composition takes shape.
Yes, it's sure to be a masterpiece.
Scarlet, crimson oxblood. Full sensual art. Voila! Firm. Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My appraisal? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil. And defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature of man.
แน่นอน
Defiance.
It must be someone famous, I tell you. Such talent. Exceptional, true. My, would I ever love to meet him.
Come,
It's a shame.
let's look in the alcove.
Need I remind you that neither did you?
To free a stone sucker, sir, requires great precision.
Absinthe. The preferred hooch of artists.
Careful, it packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
That's to say, the other one.
This is let's go. Your boards, as you've made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor of the constant struggle, power and influence. What else will they think of? If they can't agree, they want to cut the line. And you, the constant struggle.
ให้เคยกูทำอะไรเนี่ย
The great one.
Besides, have you not heard the news?
Have I not heard? It's on everyone's lips.
Cecilia never.
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sheba, Saraba, Durandum, Kalabatista, Sabeshkahi, Beshkahi.
Ah, how beautiful. The dolphins. That is no ordinary illusion. The man is a true artist.
Impressive.
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things.
หมด ค้นหาพี่สาวกล้วยไม้
Blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmeffant-garde. It's all about two things. Coin and copulation.
ต้องคนนี้ไหมถึงจะพูดอะไร
That stipend, I'm sure you understand. There are a great many highly qualified candidates.
Then I
โอ้โหจะเข้ามากันทำไมเนี่ย
Celia never should have performed tonight. We are busy. We wish to be alone. Please leave. We are busy.
But are you sure it's an original?
My employer swears it. Besides, have you not heard the news?
Have I not? Leave us be. But are you sure?
อืมว่ามันแล้ว ชัดเจน
Do not disturb. Shoo, shoo.
It's the right flower.
Of course it is. A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still. You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
Wow. Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me.
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her portrait once.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but
What was the matter?
when he learned I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not. I've always longed to paint her. Such a shame.
I think you may still get your chance.
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Centrian noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Centrian noble. Ah! You must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift, a heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
บ๊ายบายนะจ๊ะ
The Great One. He's a dance.
That's to say, the other one. His brother.
This painting, it's
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beat him with this.
Empty heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume, a gift from the Cintrian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it. Bit of Fistech. Artist's way of numbing their existential pain.
I do not even wish to comment.
the Great One. But he's a dance.
That's to say, the other one. His brother. But what if he doesn't come?
He'll definitely come. Don't worry.
How can you be so sure?
Brother dearest, trust me. He promised me he...
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come, we must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh! Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs.
Back.
That must be Cecilia.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana at once. She should bring her soiree to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help.
เนี่ยมึงไม่เชื่อกูแก
Killed her, then went out on the balcony. Door down the door. Made a platform. It's his. Must be pretty strong, too. Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it hard, then sank to the floor. Bloodstains. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this. Must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably.
ไม่ใช่คนร้ายมี2 คนนะ
Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Sconce is bent, smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it? Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like. Hunting knife. Richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly. But I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything in full detail.
หน้าคนเมื่อกี้ดูแบบเหมือนเป็นคนจริง
I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
Fell out of the window.
Just so.
None too wise picking a fight with an armed robber.
Why? Because I'm a woman, in a frock rather than plate. I can take care of myself, I assure you. A hairpin might look like mere ornament, but plunged into an eye, it can be as effective as a blade.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, poring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it, many years ago, from a young woman.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the...
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers. She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was... cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil because they were born during the wrong lunar phase?
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Siana.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She could also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since.
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here, that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift. At a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl, someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries?
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Duntine, and if Siana is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
Can't guarantee her safety, unfortunately. Especially if she's one of those responsible for these crimes.
Witcher, that was not a request.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
We are lending our combined resources to the Witch's Hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for... ages. Literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. Even that you are friends.
few I can rely on like I can on Regis. Kinda hoping he thinks the same of me.
Curious. It seems opposites really do attract.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. What might a monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the Witcher trade for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith.
An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher,
And the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detloff here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you were gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detloff believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore.
That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renna.
Oriana, she really your friend? Can she be trusted?
I met her years ago, before I met you, and before she settled in Beauclair. We'd not seen one another in... I can't begin to tell you in how long.
But I shall tell you all about her some other day.
Guessing it's no accident you two stopped by.
It would be quite some coincidence indeed. No.
Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renna must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there too. Thing is...
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract...
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Detloff, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got a way with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detloff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Detloff. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Detlaff. I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to two exquisite ladies.
Regis, gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish this second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out? You have exceptional friends. This Detlaff, an intriguing man to say the least.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count de la Croix's mill. It stands along the Saône Retour River. Captain de la Tour and his...
เรียบร้อย เออเลเวล47โอเคเราไปทำอีกเควสกันก่อน
Here's some free advice, rich man.
โอ้งั้นกูต้องมาตรงที่ไม่มีไอ้นี่แล้วอ่ะน่าเบื่อจังวะมีที่วาร์ปนั่นคือกูจะต้องอ๋อนะคุณในรูปปั้นนั้นไหมเราเป็นคนสร้างมันเองเรากันช่วย give me at all give all at me
Have you heard? Grinfred Reefers have come to him.
My sister saw him.
เธออยู่เขาใช่ไหมที่ถูกเขาทิ้งไปโดยไม่ใช่ความผิดของเธอเลยแต่เธอก็ยังไม่ลืมเขาไปยังคงมีเยื่อใยกับอ้าวแล้วเมื่อกี้70ไปไหนอะไปจากฉันมามันไม่เหลือเวลาโอ้ ปุ๊บปุ๊บปุ๊บปุ๊บลังจงลังจงสวัสดีครับ ว้าย
Be the prophet Leviathan!
Hmm. สวัสดีครับ
Camp's abandoned, but a lot of this damage is recent. Guess I arrived just a little too late. Should look around still. Man, bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Blood. Of the fresh variety. Monster attack was recent. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. You'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beasts murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory.
You post those warnings?
Indeed, to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body, return it to the family with a generous sum as recompense.
Who exactly are you?
Count Borges, happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, this subspecies is our dynastic symbol. The Disalfareses have for centuries, as family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor.
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Claim this to be the last surviving basilisk? How do you figure?
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time.
Mean to suggest a direct correlation between beech...
Indirect, I prefer to contend. Beechwood forests are the chief. When roe deer grew scarce, basilisks made humans.
And thus, we've come to this one last specimen. It's a female. As recently as last year...
Eocast?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear departed mother. Your cast was brooding then. 2 eggs. That she cast from her nest, alas, when the male perished. These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us by Duchess Ademarta. Provided it is not provoked. Yet if it does this...
Your coffers. Got a store of sons and husbands in there to compensate for those shredded by your beast?
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead, but I do make generous restitution to their loved ones. This unfortunate merchant's family, to be...
Where's the basilisk?
Of course I have an idea, but you don't really expect me to tell you. Those...
Find it myself then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints. Mentioned 2 merchants, so I might also look for the other corpse. Strange. These burn marks. Beast's venom make them? Subspecies must be highly toxic.
It is so indeed. A wound from a sterling basilisk festers long.
Need to brew a potion that'll neutralize that. Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Yokoko is so very curious. Strong sense especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the
แล้ว
caravan.
มึงเป็นใครที่มาตามกูเนี่ย
Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 cents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose. Scent their goods. They seek to lure the basilisk to destroy their wares. It allows them to demand compensation from their assurers.
แป๊บนึงนี่นก
Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky. Blood stains. Clear as day. Sense perceptible again. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Hear something, but it's no basilisk screech. Human voices.
It's a fade, all right.
Yamo, Harry, prepare the equipment. Beast wandered off somewheres. We got to lure it back. And who might you be?
Funny. About to ask you the same.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Crinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But how's it you know? And again, who the hell are you?
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher. Know your brethren in arms. Boholt, Kenneton Desperate, New Boy too.
Ah, you're that witcher. Aye, Boholt mentioned you. Said you swing a mean sword.
A professional. Good you came along. Could take on the brute together. Talk is the venom's something horrifying. Could use another pair of hands. Fee what we've gotten from the guild. We'll share it fair and square. You in?
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears and pains my heart. You aim to kill your caste? It cannot be. The creature is protected. If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you doubly to leave the beast be. You cannot slay the last living specimen of a near-extinct subspecies.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing? That's rather novel. What say you to that, Master? Far as I know, beasts culled the human race by 5 already.
เลือกทางไหนดีล่ะเนี่ยคือจะว่ายังไงวะ
Beast has to die. We work together, we'll make quick work of it.
After all I told you of your caste, you would murder her? Oh, you will regret this, friend. I know folk. I shall tell them you slew the last surviving specimen.
Sorry, Master de Salvarez. Actually, not sorry. A monster's a monster. Silvery, plaid, or polka-dotted, last or next to last specimen, doesn't matter. It's a dangerous predator that kills humans. Enough said.
มึงคุมไม่ได้อ่ะ
Herbalists, alchemists, I know many. They will despise you. I shall tell them of a heartless cur who cares not an ounce for balance in nature. You shall pay arms and legs for their wares. More!
Somebody plug this Lorden's gob, eh? Right, Master Witcher. How do we aim to fight the filth? We've crossbows. Comply with bolts while you do the hack and slash? Or all go at it as a bunch, blades in hand, fire in our hearts? You decide. You're the one with experience.
Use your crossbows, keep her on the ground.
Did you say her?
It's a female, yeah.
Hear that, lads? We've a learned witcher here. Right now, lads. You've heard the specialist.
All good and fine, but the monster's not in its nest. Gotta track it down first. You got any tannin?
Came into a bit, aye. Yeah, willing to do the honours?
Moto CUALB with Y Kingdom. อากาศร้อนเหลือเกินช่างมันเถอะไว้รอบหน้าแล้วกันทำไมผมไม่ได้ดูไมค์ตัวเองว่ะฮัลโหลฮัลโหลผมไม่รู้ฮัลโหลช่างมันนะนั่นไง
Grab your bellies! Shoot the bitch down!
อ๋อนี่คือปาซิฟิกสีเงินเป็นเควสที่ทำให้กูรู้สึกผิดดีนะ
A stroke like that to fight at a
Mention some fee from a guild. I hear you right?
Ha! Which drives right for the gut. A proof. We'll collect us a few of them silver scales and the tail. Proof for the guild, right?
And we'll get word of you to some folk. Merchant folk, meaning. They ought to treat you right.
Thanks, and farewell.
เรียบร้อย
Yocast, my poor Yocast, cruelly slaughtered like a common beast. Yocast, my poor Yocast, cruelly slaughtered like a common beast.
โอเคผมว่าผมต้องไปแล้ว เดี๋ยวค่อยเจอกันใหม่ครับ